Joe, how come your Justice Department goes after Trump endlessly, yet they cover for your family? Hunter's laptop? Yeah, that was censored, but we know that laptop's real. And it's not just filled with photos of Hunter's drug-fueled debauchery either. Nah, it showed Hunter pocketed millions from foreign partners, cash from Ukrainian and Chinese interests accused of bribery. Your family and their cronies raked in over $17 million from these schemes. And you, Joe, went from being one of the poorest in Congress to a millionaire in the White House. Come on, Joe. All this a coincidence or corruption?
So that ad that you just saw there is coming from MAGA Inc. It's a PAC that supports Donald Trump's presidential bid, but can't directly coordinate with it. These PACs cannot directly coordinate with the candidates. But anyway, they're now attacking Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, because I think Hunter Biden's running as his VP, I think. But anyway, they're doing that despite the fact that up until this point in the election, they've been spending tens of millions of dollars attacking Ron DeSantis. So this attack ad, to the extent that it convinces anyone of anything with its selective cherry picking of quotes and things like that, is potentially bad news for Joe Biden. But isn't it also, Francesca, kind of bad news for Ron DeSantis? Like, he doesn't want the PAC to attack him, but the PAC doesn't think it needs to attack him anymore. That's not good. They're ignoring him now. What do you think?
I know. They're like, at least I was in the news. I didn't have to spend money on that commercial myself, which, by the way, Trump cannot afford this either. I mean, I don't know how much money he can take from this PAC, maybe none of it. So, but he really needs it for his legal fees, as do all of his lawyers and his lawyers, cat. But like, honestly, and I was going to, we're talking about the indictments and really that avoiding jail is the only way, or being elected president is the only way Trump can avoid jail. And you're like, how many of us didn't see this coming in 2016? Like, truly, Trump was the death of the Republican Party. They said it themselves. It wasn't us saying it. They know it was the death of the Republican Party. And now they have a corrupt, criminal, sociopathic narcissist as their front runner by a long shot. And they've got to bend over backwards to make Biden, your sleepy, supposedly sleepy Biden, look like a crime boss. Like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't stick to Biden. And it's so funny how, like, oh my God, you want to start talking about your children's corruption? Jared Kushner, how many billions did he receive from the Saudi government after trying to negotiate peace in the Middle East? Good job, buddy. In addition to the PPP loans, don't get me started. But like, I don't know, John. Like, I think this is just bigger than all. It's like they're all gonna fall behind. They're all gonna fall behind Trump. Whether or not he is convicted, if he's behind bars, what else do they have? We're gonna sit it out.
I agree. Look, there was a shot, and there's still an outside shot, but yeah, at this point, there's gonna be interesting wrinkles and stuff. Like, some of them, if they want the eventual podcast they launch to do well, they can't resign today as candidates. But yeah, it's just like it's all lining up. Like, DeSantis he's Scott Walker, he's Jeb Bush, more annoying honestly than Jeb. You felt bad for Jeb, you don't feel bad for DeSantis. But anyway, we'll see if any of this can stick. Again, like the headline said, Hunter Biden's laptop is real. Circle the real. Yeah, but does it prove anything? Like,
we circled it.
We circled it. That's true. It said it proves 11 million. Okay, but how about while you're proving it, why don't you prove it? Why don't you actually prove it? That would be something. Maybe you could do that.
It proves he looked really cool smoking probably crack.
We know that part. But anyway, the rest of it, and if you can prove it, I don't send it to jail. I don't care about Hunter Biden, but you can't.
What if we underlined it? Would that give us more evidence? If we just underline
strike through. What about strike through?
No.
Anyway, we only have another minute or so, but I want to have a little bit more fun at Ron DeSantis' expense here. So Ron DeSantis will not be the target of this ad, obviously, which by the way costs $1.9 million. It's going to be on CNN and Fox News and Newsmax or whatever. But DeSantis is out there And I don't want you to be too worried about him. He's doing these like local events. You can see him here at the Spanky's livestock auction in Iowa. Looks like a good turnout for that from that photo of that's narrowly cropped for some. Why is it such a narrow photo? Why don't we zoom out on that a little bit and see? Oh, that's why they zoomed in so much into that narrow slice. That's why they asked. Like there must have been tons of people who are like, can I sit in the front row right there? No, you sit in the 5th row directly behind him. Such a weird choice to make.
I mean, honestly, I'm a stand-up comic, and you've never heard of me. I've done a lot of shows like this, guys. All right, you try to get people to sit in the front row, so when you take the photo, it looks like it's full. But some people are like, no, I'm just gonna sit in the back because I heard this was auctioning off Ron DeSantis in something called Spanky's, and I'll take him for 100. What? Is that not why we're here? Oh, okay. I'll just sit here anyway.
By the way, I get those people. I love comedy. I don't want to be close. My nightmare ever since watching The Nutty Professor as a young man is the comic interacting with me in the audience. So I always sit in the back. But so don't ever talk to me if I go to your show, Francesca.
You ever been high at a show that was interactive? Oh my God. Like once I went to like a magician, I saw like a magician who interacted with the audience and I was like too close and I was like, oh no. And I thought I was gonna lose my mind. Cause you know how you can't interact when you're on weed?
Definitely. The film of that experience is Too Close, Too High. It was a dangerous time.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.